For those of you that flock to Miami in droves and think that this place is paradise, let me tell you, it is not. Yes, the sun is shining. Yes, you have options. Yes, there's a million things to do, and depending on where you're coming from, this can seem great. But the true paradise that I tell everyone you need to go to is Jamaica. Jamaica is true paradise. You have organic food, real food, delicious food. You can support someone on the side of the road, and I guarantee the food will be amazing. Every single Black person needs to visit a Black country. Go there, and not to the little touristy areas. Go to the Black areas, the real areas, and see what life could be like, especially if you're from the US, like myself. So I grew up going to Jamaica every year with my family, and it was life-changing for me as a child to see Black business owners, Black restaurant owners, Black people in commercials, Black people on billboards, Black politician, all Black everything. It was so beautiful.
Hi guys, so I've been in Jamaica for 5 days now, and here's some of my initial thoughts and feelings on Jamaica. So first of all, this place is just Kumasi. It's just Kumasi with resorts. Like, I love it. I actually really appreciate the familiarity. It genuinely just feels like being in Ghana. Everything they said about Jamaican men is true. I will not be expanding on that at this point. Thank you very much. Jamaicans compliment so loudly, like they do not care if you hear them. I'll be walking past, yeah, she pretty, yeah, she nice with it, yeah, she Black and she nice. They don't care at all.
Let me touch a topic here real quick. We see people are say, how can we left Jamaica and go back to Jamaica for vacation? It don't make sense. Let me tell you now why it makes sense. Most of we were left Jamaica, and also most of who live in Jamaica can't afford to do nothing in Jamaica. How much uno ever say uno can go at the tourist attraction them in Jamaica?
Imagine spending your entire life carrying the weight of your skin. Every room you enter, you are the Black girl, not Jessica, not Maya, not you. You walk different, talk different, dress different, all to dodge stereotypes that were never yours to carry. You're exhausted, invisible. Then you land in Jamaica, and for the first time you breathe because the billboards look like you, the business owner look like you, the politicians, the models, the everyday people, they all look like you. You're not diverse here, you're just home. I'm not talking about tourism, and I'm talking something that is pilgrimage. This is the Black women reclaiming something the diaspora tried to beat out of them. Our right without explanation. So buckle up, because we're about to talk about why Jamaica is not just a vacation. It is a resurrection. I have a couple of videos, Black women talking about the experiences in Jamaica, why they won't leave Jamaica. Let us watch them, and then I'll be back to discuss everything with you.
For those of you that flock to Miami in droves and think that this place is paradise, let me tell you, it is not. Yes, the sun is shining. Yes, you have options. Yes, there's a million things to do, and depending on where you're coming from, this can seem great. But the true paradise that I tell everyone you need to go to is Jamaica. Jamaica is true paradise. You have organic food, real food, delicious food. You can support someone on the side of the road, and I guarantee the food will be amazing. The produce will be amazing. You will eat things. I've had chicken in Jamaica that made me cry, okay? Cry. Tears. From chicken and bread on the side of the road, okay? You have waterfalls, beaches, hills. Miami ain't got no hills, we flat. Views that will take your breath away. Water that you can see your foot when you step in the water. You see the fish, you see beauty, okay? You have people that will make you laugh hysterically just by being themselves day to day. You come to Miami, ain't nobody talking to you. They don't see you. Most likely they don't even speak English. And I love my Spanish people, but some of y'all racist. Next, Jamaica has this air of excitement and just, you could be at the grocery store. You could be in line. There's just this energy because the culture in Jamaica is so rich. Miami, because there's so many different people here, everybody just sticks to their own. There's no inclusion. There's no mixing. If anything, they're just going to ignore your ass. They're not friendly. They're not warm. They're not open. They just be like, what do you want? Okay. I'm not saying Jamaica's perfect and I'm not saying Miami's hell, but I'm saying if you can make a decision on which one you want to go to and you're looking for paradise, you're looking for fun, you're looking for a time, you're looking to support an economy that will very much appreciate your dollar, go to Jamaica and enjoy yourself fully. You can get an Airbnb that will come with a chef who will cook you breakfast, lunch, and dinner from scratch, baby. You can go stay up in the mountains. You can stay up in the hills. You could get a boat. You could live life and connect with a spiritual level, a country that will blow your mind. Guaranteed. If you have any questions, let me know. And this is from someone who has been in Miami from I was 4 years old. I'm now 32. A long time. Okay? And I have been to Jamaica more times than I can count, and I can never get enough. I'm putting you on. And thank me later. Every single black person needs to visit a black country. Go there, and not to the little touristy areas. Go to the black areas, the real areas, and see what life could be like, especially if you're from the US, like myself. So I grew up going to Jamaica every year with my family, and it was life-changing for me as a child to see black business owners, black restaurant owners, black people in commercials, black people on billboards, black politician, all black everything. It was so beautiful and so inspiring. For the first time in my life, I was seen. I took off my blackness and put on my humanness. I wasn't just Jessica the black girl, I was just Jessica. And if you've never experienced what life is like outside of your blackness, outside of your exterior, you'll be surprised to know how much freedom there is in just being you. I've been in many social spaces where I walk in, I'm representing as the only black person there. And you have to be very mindful and cognizant of everything you do, everything you say, how you walk, how you dress, because there are so many stereotypes and stigmas about you already that you need to walk in on your A game. You don't realize how much all of these things are playing on your psyche, on what you think is possible, on what life could be, what normalcy is. You don't always have to be the other. Growing up in the US, going to school, it was so hard to make friends because people are afraid of me. People think I'm gonna act a certain way or be a certain way. I went to Jamaica, I would be there for 5 days and leave with 10 friends because these people are just seeing me for me. There's no preconceived notions of who this tall black girl is. Even if you think life is great here, it can be so much better in a place where you can truly be you. Trust me. I don't know if I'm raising my kids in Jamaica or if I'm retiring in Jamaica because I have to live there for at least a year because it is so fantastic. And if I have children, I also want them to see all the possibilities life can be as a person of color.
Hi guys, so I've been in Jamaica for 5 days now, and here's some of my initial thoughts and feelings on Jamaica. So first of all, this place is just Kumasi. It's just Kumasi with resorts. Like, I love it. I actually really appreciate the familiarity. It genuinely just feels like being in Ghana. Everything they said about Jamaican men is true. I will not be expanding on that at this point. Thank you very much. Jamaicans compliment so loudly, like they do not care if you hear them. I'll be walking past, yeah, she pretty, yeah, she nice with it, yeah, she black and she nice. They don't care at all. If you're a tourist, it's like everything starts at $100. If you plan on leaving the resort, make sure you buy an eSIM. I bought one from a company called like Nomad or something. It was really good. I'm in Ocho Rios, and it seems like a lot of the excursions here either water-based stuff or stuff that involves hiking, or maybe even a bit of both. So if that's not something that really interests you, like, you need to figure that out before you get out here. If you're going to do rafting, make sure you get on a raft that has speakers. Yeah, it makes such a difference. I'm going to do a separate video on river rafting because we had a tan. I'm not even a fish person, but I'm really enjoying ackee and saltfish. Like, it just makes sense. I get it. Like, at breakfast time, mixed in with the scrambled egg, it makes sense. Oh my gosh, for the love of everything, if you are staying in Ocho Rios, do not fly into Kingston. It is far. There is a toll road. It's going to be expensive. I just had to take the L because I didn't know any better, but guys, don't do it. Can't think of anything else, so cheers and goodbye.
The craziest thing about going to Jamaica is all your insecurities of things that they like. Like, if you don't like the way your teeth are, like you have a gap, they're like, oh, I love space teeth. If you feel like you're a bit too chubby, your stomach's a bit big, they love that. Everything that you're insecure about in England, in Jamaica, they love it.
Let me touch a topic here real quick. We see people are say, how can we left Jamaica and go back to Jamaica for vacation? It don't make sense. Let me tell you now why it makes sense. Most of we were left Jamaica, and also most of who live in a Jamaica can't afford to do nothing in Jamaica. How much uno ever say uno can go at the tourist attraction them in a Jamaica? Uno might go at the little one them everybody go, which is like Duns River Fall or YS Fall, and the little one them. How much uno can say uno booking to a 5-star hotel at Jamaica? Let AC blow on nobody and relax on nobody and just relax on the beach and just eat and drink as much as you want and go just enjoy the whole. Cause me, when I work at Fiesta, and the whole heap of time I look out through the restaurant door, them are window them and just say, boy, out the door pretty man. One day me I gonna be able to enjoy it instead of work there. Whole heap we work at restaurant, work at hotel at Jamaica and never experience nothing what the hotel have to offer. So when you hear guests I say our tourists, we call them and say, yeah, we went to Jamaica and we do this and we do that. How much of uno live at Jamaica or did live at Jamaica ever do them stuff there yet? Because we can't afford it. So a whole heap we left if we come look a better life and if we can go back go enjoy our country or build up in our country. So yes, we are going to go back for vacation because we couldn't afford the things them were down there unless I go a party. When we go to Jamaica, I don't want to go to the little street party them. I don't want to do the things that I could do from me live down there. I want to go do things that I couldn't afford to do when I live at Jamaica. And that's how I know say a whole heap of mindset there. That's why we go back to Jamaica, because we want to do things that we couldn't afford to do when we live there. Like booking a 5-star hotel. If you're booking a 5-star hotel and you live at Jamaica, unless you got a good hustling there go on, or you've been saving for that for months, not even months, probably a year and more. But when we left and come overseas, we go back to Jamaica, most of us can't afford it without using our last penny. But in a Jamaica, if we want to live them a life, that we have to use our last penny. So we a whole heap we don't know how much attraction, how much tourist attraction Jamaica have to offer, because we can't afford to go there. We can't afford to go and none of the 5-star hotel them. Only the tourists them are coming and enjoy. So yes, we have to left. Me know for me left. And I go back to Jamaica, go do things because I couldn't afford to do. Because I want the experience of doing. Because most people in Jamaica or live in Jamaica now are who were used to live there. We only could do the free stuff, go like a street corner party them, go like a free something. We can't afford to go do nothing good. So that's why we left and come away, and now we visit back so we can enjoy what the country have to offer. Because living there we can't afford to enjoy none. Else we all use our last paycheck, what we save, not even a paycheck, or a last savings what we have saved for years. And when we use it and we go to the 5-star hotel or we go enjoy ourselves at some attraction, it done, and then we don't stress out or we stress out. But when you live overseas now, and you got your thing a go on for you can't afford to go enjoy your country. And I just saw me look money and I saw me see it. So that's the reason why me visit Jamaica. I mean, I'm going to stop visiting until me do it all. Because there is no guest or no tourist to tell me, say, oh, I do this and that in Jamaica. You never do it yet? I must me no want to do it. So that's why. Yeah. You don't know my country more than me. Oh. So that's the reason, yeah? Yeah.
I hate when men ask me, where do I want to go on a date? Because I'm going to say Jamaica. Take me to Jamaica on our first date. And if a day trip to Jamaica is not in your budget, then why are you dating? Better yet, why are you trying to date me? For the people that's saying going to Jamaica is not a date, yes it is. First of all, Jamaica is like 45 minutes to an hour from Miami. It's faster to get to Jamaica than Atlanta. All you gotta do is get on a 7 or 8 a.m. flight using JetBlue. They have one every day. By the time you get to Jamaica, it's still breakfast. You eat in kalaloo, ackee, and dumpling for breakfast. Then after that, you say, babes, you wanna go Bob Marley Museum or the beach? She's gonna say, let's see Bob Marley. You're gonna go see Bob Marley, then you're gonna take her to the beach. While she's on the beach, she's going to be sipping rum out of a coconut. The straw will be in the coconut and you will be pouring Ray and his nephew as she sips and she's babe, what's a chopper? Once Skipper and all the chopper music stops playing, you're gonna say, babe, I have a surprise for you. She's gonna say, really? You're gonna say, yes, I booked Dancing Rebel to come teach you how to dance on your head top. She will be whining on her head top, drunk, having the time of her life. Now it is lunchtime. She is hungry. You are going to have them steam a fish for her, fry a lobster for her. You're going to buy her all the seafood she wants because seafood is cheaper in Jamaica. She's going to eat and now she'll be ready to get on the jet skis. She will have one hand in the air while she screams "Bumbleclot" and holds on to you tight because you're going faster and faster and faster. After getting her drunk, wet, and filling up her belly, it will be time to go. You have a JetBlue flight that leaves at 9 p.m., so you should get to the airport about 7 p.m., which means you can possibly squeeze in time for her to get her hair done or do a little shopping. And men, you won't have to ask for the pum pum after a date like this. She's giving it to you. You are now stuck. So if the girls aren't sticking to you, it's because your dates are boring. You guys are boring. We can get drinks with our friends. There's an app called Best Date Ever. Go download it. Go get some creativity.
One thing that was interesting to me about Jamaica that is different from America, like it's so obvious, but you really don't notice until you get here, is the representation everywhere of Black people. So my first time coming to Jamaica was in 2015 for my 21st birthday. And I said that to my best friend, like, she Jamaican, and she's like, I didn't even notice that. But I was in such a wow moment of the representation. And what I mean by that is when we're driving around, all the billboards, if you cut on the TV, the commercials, like the actors or whatever, everything on the TV shows, just everywhere you go, the flyers, like everywhere you go, it is Black people. And I mean, it is like common sense because it's like Jamaica, it's a Black island, right? But it's coming from America. It is not like that. Like majority of what we see is going to be white. It's very much the Western world. I mean, down to a white Jesus. I'm just being real about it. So that was like an aha moment for me. And it always is, being in a place like growing up in America. When you come to a place that is just Black, like it is all Black, that is the majority, it is such like, I don't know the feeling. I can't really use the words to describe it, but that was my first difference I noticed my first time coming to Jamaica, being from America. Actually, Jamaica was my first international trip too. It was my first passport stamp. And just coming here and seeing the representation of Black people everywhere was just really beautiful for me.
As if you needed another reason to go to Jamaica, here are 5 reasons why I'm going to tell you to go to Jamaica and book that trip right now. Number 1, Jamaica hosts the largest reggae festival in the world. Okay, so if you like reggae music and you're trying to have a good time on an island, this is the place to go. Okay, it's every summer. I think it's usually in July, like mid-July, sometimes early August, but it is an undefeated experience, I'm telling you. Now, if you want to learn about how the local people are living, you find your local Rastaman, okay? Make sure he's at least 65 years old, looks like he's 40, okay? And he's going to give you all the tea about everything that's been going on, not only with the local people, if you want to ask, but also with the tourism, with people coming in, buying lands, and just how everything and all of that is affecting the Jamaican people. Additionally, if he is on a cart or a bicycle selling fruits, that's going to be the best fruit that you have for your whole trip. I'm just letting you know now. This one I don't really want to elaborate too much on because, you know, of all the guidelines on TikTok, but just know. All right, okay. Here's another one for you. Did you know that most all-inclusive Jamaican resorts include wedding packages? So if you want to get married in Jamaica, it actually doesn't cost any more. You can actually get married in Jamaica, get the license in Jamaica. You don't even have to apply for it back home. You can get it in Jamaica. So talk about the ease of planning a wedding. I mean, literally just showing up, applying for it, and getting it 24 hours later for your beautiful wedding on a Jamaican beach.
I'm not even engaged, but like, come on, it's giving everything it needs to give. And I mean, just the diversity, okay? The diversity in Jamaica is so crazy. You have white Jamaicans, black Jamaicans, obviously, Asian Jamaicans, okay? Like Korean Jamaicans, okay? And then that is all reflected in the food there. So when you go to Jamaica and you eat food, there are options for every type of diet. Vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, meat eaters, okay? Omnivores, okay? So if you have some type of special dietary need, they're going to be able to accommodate you. Like my mom has celiac disease, so when I went there, I was looking for things that she could eat and honestly found so many things that she could eat without having to worry about gluten in her diet. So we already knew Jamaican food was good, but just adding a layer on top of that they actually have diversity in flavors and in different dietary needs. And I think another reason why Jamaica's cuisine is just so diverse is also because of the Rastafari culture and their itar diet, which is really focused on eating things from the earth. They have like some really intricate like things that you're not supposed to eat. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know for the most part they're eating vegan. And you know, if they can make vegan food taste good, which I know it's not hard and I hate saying this, but it's so true. Like if you can make vegan food taste good, you know how to cook. So yeah, if you needed any more reasons to go to Jamaica, I just gave you 5. So you're welcome.
What's good, family? Welcome back to the Bantu Merchant, where we unpack the real stories of the African and Caribbean diaspora. Today, we're going to dive into something that has been blowing up my DMs. Why do Black American women and the diaspora in general keep flocking to Jamaica like it's Mecca? And I'm not talking about spring break vibes or Instagram aesthetics. I am talking about something deeper, something spiritual, something that has sisters crying at the airport saying, I don't want to go back. So let us talk about it here today. I want you to picture this. You're a black woman from America or the UK or Australia. You've spent your whole life being hyper aware. You watch how you walk, how you speak, how you code switch in meetings. You smile a little softer so you're not aggressive. You dress a certain way so you're now professional but not too ethnic. Every single day is a performance because if you sleep, the stereotypes are going to win. Then you land in Jamaica. And suddenly you see black people everywhere in the streets, not just on the street only, on the billboards, in the commercials, running the banks, hosting the TV shows, owning the results, and it hits you like a freight train. This is what it feels like to be the default. One sister put it perfectly. I took off my blackness and put on humanness. I wasn't Jessica, the black girl anymore. I was just Jessica. Think about that for a moment. How heavy is that load we carry that when we be black before we can be human? Jamaica gives you permission to drop that weight. And once you feel that freedom, you're addicted. Now, let us go deeper into this thing. In the West, especially America, people grow up under what I call the surveillance case. White supremacy doesn't need cops on every corner. It lives in your head. You're always monitoring yourself. Did I sound too loud? Did I come off too ghetto? Are they gonna think I'm dangerous? That's how people think and live. It's exhausting. But in Jamaica, nobody's going to watch you like that. You are not an anomaly. You're not a threat. You're not a diversity. You're just a human being. And here's the thing, guys. Jamaicans will literally shout compliments at you. Yo, she nice with it. Yeah, she black and she pretty. They don't care if you hear them. There is no shame, no code, no performance. It's loud and it's love. Compare that to growing up in the United States, where one sister said she couldn't even make friends because people were afraid of her. In Jamaica, she made 10 friends in only 5 days. Why? Because they were just seeing her for who she was. That's the healing. That's the magic. It's not just a vacation. It is the first time you get into to exist without armor. But it goes even deeper than the representation. Jamaica is one of the last places in the Caribbean where African culture didn't just survive. It thrived. You've got the Maroons, descendants of enslaved Africans, who said hell no and escaped to the mountains for the British to a stalemate and secured their independence. That spirit, it's still alive, up to date. You feel it in the music, the language, the swagger, everything. You've got Marcus Garvey, the man who said, look to Africa, before it was a hashtag. who built a global movement for black pride and self-determination. You've got Rastafari, a spiritual movement rooted in African identity, repatriation, and resistance. The idol diet, the dreadlocks, the reverence for nature, it's all connected to remembering who we were before colonization and slavery tried to erase us. When Black Americans and diaspora folks visit Jamaica, it's not just a trip, it's a homecoming. It's connecting with a version of blackness that was never diluted, never apologetic, never ashamed. And that hits different when you've been fed the lie your whole life that black culture is inferior. Now, let's talk about black women specifically, because you all have been leading this charge. There is a reason how Stella got her groove back became a culture moment. It wasn't just about romance. It was about black women giving themselves permission to rest, to heal, to prioritize joy. And Jamaica became the symbol of that. Because, let us be real, guys. Black women in the West are tired. You're holding down your jobs, raising kids, managing households, fighting systemic racism, and still expected to be strong. When do you get to just be soft? When do you get to be taken care of? Jamaica offers that. The beaches, the music, the food, the slow pace. It's a space where you can excel, where your body, yes, your whole body curves and all it is celebrated. In the West, you're too chubby, too thick, too much. In Jamaica, you're just perfect, baby. That gap in your teeth, space is beautiful. That belly, we love it. It's the inversion of every insecurity the West tried to sell to you. And for black women growing in respectability politics and anti-blackness, that validation is life-changing. And we can't talk about Jamaica without talking about the culture. Reggae, dancer, jack chicken, patois, carnival vibes. The largest reggae festival in the world happens every summer, and it is not just music, it is spiritual experience. You're surrounded by people who look like you, celebrating blackness unapologetically. The food, don't even talk about it. It is just unmatched. You've got options for vegans, pescatarians, meat lovers. Thanks to the part of Rastafari idol cuisine, which is all about eating from the earth. You can literally climb a mango tree on a suburban street if you feel hungry. Lobster and steamed fish are cheap compared to the West. Aki and saltfish for breakfast. Chef's kiss. And if you want the deep knowledge, find a Rasta man in his 60s who looks like Fari. He'll tell you the real about land, tourism, politics, and how Jamaica is navigating globalization without losing its soul. Jamaica is not trying to be the West. It is boldly, loudly, and proudly itself. And that kind of cultural confidence, it is magnetic. But here's what really gets me from. When Black Americans and diaspora folks say they love Jamaica, what they really say is, I love feeling free. Free from being minority, free from code switching, free from justifying your existence, free from exhaustion of being hypervisible and invisible at the same time. In Australia, one sister was talking about how you can't even sell peanuts at Spotlight without a license. Health permits, council approval. Meanwhile, in Jamaica, people are hustling, thriving, making it work. Is it perfect? No, but there is a freedom in that hustle. A freedom from the suffocating bureaucracy that makes life in the West feel like a cage made of taxes and rules. And I think that's the final piece. Jamaica reminds us what it feels like to be human, not a demographic, not a statistic, not a diversity hire, just life. So when people ask why Jamaica, the answer is just simple. Because it is one of the few places left where black people can just be black. Where we are not other, where we're not exalted, where we're not at risk, just being them. And for black women, especially who carry the weight of the anti-blackness and misogyny, Jamaica is a reset button. It's proof that another world is possible. A world where you're celebrated, not tolerated. To visit Jamaica is not just travel, it is to go home, to a piece of Africa that still beats loudly in the Caribbean islands. So if you've been thinking about going, stop thinking. Book that flight. Your soul will thank you. And if you've already been to, drop a comment down below and tell me what was your aha moment, your best experience. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us keep unpacking these diaspora truths. Guys, this is the Bantu Merchant. I'm out.